Hello, hello, hello. Okay, I might make this a thing. Random reactions. I don't know. I might. This channel, Planet Peterson, caught my attention. So, we're gonna, I guess I can say we. Gonna check these videos out by him and see how it goes. Let's find out. Stupid.
What about it?
Okay, so time is a dimension of space.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Okay, now before the...
Nah. Ow.
God, I had a question for you. So, everything comes from something, right? Either like a reaction or just comes straight from something, right? So the first thing that was here that it made everything else, that caused everything else, right? Whatever it was, it had to either have been put here or it's the reaction of something out of here. And you're ruling out completely that it can't be a god. It can nothing. The first thing couldn't have been placed here or done on purpose. You're saying that's not possible. It couldn't have been a god.
I don't think that at all. I just don't think that there's any evidence that that's what happened.
Well,
I also think the necessity to invoke a god is not an evidence-based claim, and it's just totally unfounded too. I don't see why the universe can't just exist.
Well, like a god is something you can't fully comprehend, and trying to figure out how the first thing.
Then why believe it?
Because it's the same thing. It's like the first thing that came here, or whatever everything came from. We can't comprehend how it came here.
Okay, I'm sorry, that code. I can't do that. Maybe.
Or how it got here, and that's the same way with a god. So it would make sense if the reason everything was here or something was placed here, it came from that thing that we can't understand, which would be a god.
I don't see how that makes any sense. I don't know how it happened. Therefore, it must have been something that can't even be comprehended. Therefore, that thing exists. Therefore, that thing is God. This is so strange to me. And this also lends credence to any and all types of gods. So maybe the Greek pantheon is true. Maybe whatever else there is true. So I don't know. I don't know if you believe in a specific god, but how would I get to what you believe?
If anything, I would believe in the Greek pantheon, personally, in my opinion. You know? I don't know. Aphrodite, for one. I mean, how she's been put it. How she has been. There's a word for it. How she looks culturally to the Greeks. That's what I'm trying to say.
Based off just that alone.
Well, I'm agnostic, so I believe that I think there actually is a god. I think there is an external influence because everything.
Agnostic means I don't know. Gnosis means knowledge.
thing that's here, it can't just be. It can't
Yeah, he missed that. Peterson missed that.
just be infinite. It couldn't have.
It's okay because I'm a fan of Peterson. I really am. Fan of Eric. Is his name? Eric Peterson. That's his name. I'm a fan, but I'm not gonna not say anything if he misses some shit.
Been here forever. That's impossible.
Actually, out of respect.
That's just.
Why is that impossible?
Well, have you ever seen something come from nothing?
No, but that's what it would have come from if God did it.
That's not true, but it's different. It doesn't work that way. Like it could have been the reaction of something, but we don't understand.
How
what
did
we can't
God?
comprehend.
Well, then how did God do it?
We don't know. We can't. We'll never know because
Then you don't know that God didn't create it from nothing.
But we know that everything. We know that something came from nothing.
We know that? That doesn't
Of course we do.
Why,
Nothing
how do
is
we know
forever.
that?
Well, nothing is forever. Nothing is infinite.
Matt,
No. Hold on. You gotta cough. Gotta mute. Okay, I'm back. Making sure I don't embarrass myself. I can't remember what I was saying. Hold on.
matter and energy cannot be created
Oh,
or destroyed.
I remember. It's energy, not metal. Metal can be destroyed into energy, but energy cannot be destroyed. It can only transform.
Matter and energy.
Yeah. Boom.
Wait. What was I saying right before this?
It's not right. It's not really wrong because energy can turn into metal and metal can turn into energy. That was the whole thing about the Manhattan Project, you know? Splitting an atom. Fucking big ass explosion. Could kill millions. Well, it has actually. Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
I don't know.
I was. It's the same thing. Anyway, again, something can't come of nothing, right? So the first thing in this universe, anything, the reason everything exists, whatever it was, it had to have come from something.
Then what did that thing that it all came from come from?
We don't know. But that's
Okay, the universe
it
the
could
universe
exist
came from
outside of
nothing
time
then.
and space.
Or sorry,
it could
the
be-
universe didn't come from anything. It just exists.
No, I'm saying that's exactly the opposite of what I'm saying.
I know, but I'm telling you, just replace your God placeholder. Just get rid of that and say, no, just the universe exists.
But nothing can just exist.
Your God can just exist, apparently.
No, but then see, you can't jump around like that. First, you'd have to figure out what it was, and then if you had
He's so special pleading his ass off. That's what it's called, by the way, special pleading. Special pleading his ass off. He's saying nothing else can do this except for God. Fucking annoying.
evidence it was a god, then you start talking about, okay, where did this god from?
We don't have evidence of a God. I do know that there's a universe. It's right there.
Yeah, of course, and this universe couldn't have been here forever.
Why not?
Because that's not possible. We don't see any examples of that.
How long has God been around?
Well, it would be
There doesn't need to be any examples of what? A universe being around forever? You're not making any sense, dude. At least to me, fuck. I don't know, maybe somebody fucking knows what you're talking about, but I don't.
something outside of time and space. So infinitely, whatever. I don't know. It's outside of time. It's not. It's not how things work here.
How does a thing outside of time work?
We couldn't comprehend it because we live in time and space.
Then why would anybody believe this though?
Well, because you can't just have something from nothing, right? So the universe, everything, it had to have come from something.
What did God come from?
Well, what God are you talking about? That's who knows? That's outside of time and space. You can't even think about that.
Okay, well, the universe is inside of time and space. There.
We don't know where God would reside, but exactly, the universe is in time and space.
Yeah,
but the
there we
universe
go.
hasn't been here forever. It came from something.
What makes you think that?
We see that. Like,
I don't see anything coming from anything ever.
What do you mean? Everything you see comes from something else. A table
Everything
comes
I
from a
see
tree.
is a rearrangement, a reconfiguration of pre-existing stuff.
Okay, there you go. That's
Stuff
great.
stuff
But where did
has
the first
never
thing go?
doth not proclaimeth beeth that which thou.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing here. He's trying to speak in old English, I guess, or he's trying to talk like the medievals with castles and knights and shit. I get what he's doing, but I don't know why he's doing it. I think he's trolling because he likes to do that. When people fuck with him, he likes to fuck with them right back, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, though.
Thou art eternal, exist haven't perchance.
Well, then where was the first what's it called? What how did you describe it again?
What's it? The universe?
No, how everything you said everything is just what?
The universe just exists. It doesn't come from anything.
But that's the thing, that's impossible.
No, it was an reorganization of materials. That's what Peterson said, but they forgot. Both of them did. It's okay. I'm just gonna point it out like an idiot. I'm not trying to attack anybody. I'm just pointing it out.
You can't just have something that came from nothing.
God can do that, so the universe can do that.
No, it can't. So are you saying there is a God?
No.
Okay, so I'm saying something can't come from nothing, and we know that
The universe didn't come from nothing. It didn't come from anything. It doesn't come.
Yes, it did. It came.
The universe,
'cause we're here.
no, the universe doesn't come.
So you're saying the universe was infinite? It's always been here.
I kind of thought he was trolling here for a minute or two, but maybe he's not. He's done this stuff like this, but this would have been funny as hell if he was trolling here.
Eternal, I don't know what infinite means.
That it's always been here. It's been here forever.
Yeah, sure.
So you think
It was
it's been
never
here
not
forever.
here.
So, okay, well that's impossible. Nothing can just be, and that doesn't make sense. You think the universe has just been here and nothing, and that's it? Infinitely, it's been here.
If somebody is allowed to say that something that has literally no discernible properties, God can do that, then I can say the universe can do that.
You can't. I'm saying it would be something
I
like
just
a
did,
God.
though.
It would exist outside of time and space. It wouldn't be here.
And this guy's not making any sense because, as Eric said, there was a time where time didn't even exist. And yes, he's right about that.
There's no such thing as outside of time and space.
Well, how can you say that?
What is outside of time and space? Describe
Somewhere
it to me.
a god would reside.
Yeah,
It's
explain
someone
it to
that
me.
doesn't follow.
What? He's literally doing God of the Apps. Literally. Okay. Can I air some more of this shit? Hold on. Gotta wait. To literally said it. I was on here to regularly scheduled program already in progress.
Time doesn't work like
Buddy,
it works here.
if I said that Ding Dong lives somewhere and you said where, and I said somewhere, then I'm not giving you any reason to think that Ding Dong lives anywhere.
Or you can say over there. Over there. That's not giving you any information either.
Or even exists. You're just pleading the fifth.
I'm telling you exactly where a god would reside outside of time and space.
Where's
Listen,
that?
But you think, listen, so you think you're correct when you say the universe has always been here no matter what? It's been
Sure,
here?
why not? I don't see a logical problem with that.
It's not logical because you can't have something from nothing.
Of
Everything
course.
comes from something
What I'm
else.
describing to you circumvents the nothingness begetting the somethingness.
It just didn't begin.
It just
there.
exists.
It was always
Like I said
Nothing
earlier, the
can-
universe
it was
doesn't
always
come.
here.
But like I'm telling you, nothing just exists. Nothing can just come out of nowhere and
Okay,
just
then where did
become.
God come from?
See, I can't answer that. I'm not telling you that, but I'm telling you that is definitely evidence of an external
Well, God
influence.
can't exist because God can't just come from nowhere.
Well, sure, I agree with you.
Okay, God doesn't
But
exist.
what
What
I'm
do you want to talk
telling
about
you is-
next?
The universe had to have come from something like an external influence, yeah?
If that's true, then so did God.
Sure.
Does God? Okay, where did God
Sure.
come from?
Well, that's let's stay on this first and then let's move on to the God. Let's stay on the universe first, where it came from.
Oh, okay, it didn't
had
come
to
from
have-
anywhere.
Oh my God.
The
But can you
universe
tell me
is
one- can you tell me
eternal
one
and
other
infinite.
example-
It is
one
all
other
things
example of
everywhere, and it has always existed.
Can you give me another example of something that
I
has
can't give
just-
you another example of everything, which is what the universe is. There's one universe.
Okay, well, let's say before the universe was this big, all these galaxies, right? Solar systems. When it was in its smallest form, simplest
No,
form.
it was never small. It's always been infinite.
So the universe has always been infinite, and matter just came out of nowhere.
No, it didn't come from nowhere. It always existed.
So if it always existed, then there was never a time without it.
Correct.
Except
Except at
So
the
how-
beginning, time as we understand it wasn't a
Energy
component
turned
of the
into
universe that we
matter.
observe.
Because matter
Can you
and
elaborate on
energy are interchangeable.
Well, because before inflation, before the Big Bang or whatever, space-time as we understand it didn't exist. It was all compressed, maybe into a singularity. Time is a dimension of space.
Into a singularity. So I don't understand how that would work. Time and space was one thing.
that doesn't make sense. He's right. I mean, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's crazy. It breaks physics itself. But it's what we have figured out so far. We might figure out that that's wrong later, but until then,
You know that there's this thing called space-time?
Okay, yeah, space time. Mm-hmm. What about it?
Okay, so time is a dimension of space?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now before the Big Bang, compress all of the observable universe into a state where all of the physics we currently understand is unified. So time,
including space itself. Now that might not make sense either, but it does. I'm pretty sure you can compress space. I don't know how that would work, but
time, as we understand it, is not playing a role in the universe in that state.
And so this universe.
I think it's done. Damn. Pause it. Oh wow. That's good. I'm close to done. Kind of. Download it, can't I? So it does download, doesn't it? As I wait. I'm sure it does.
This unified thing of time and space, it blew up into two separate things and created the universe right now as we know it.
Are you calling time and space the two things it blew up into?
That's what I'm understanding here, that they were one thing.
No,
and
space-time is sort of one thing. Like electromagnetism, it's one singular force. Now there is electricity and there are magnets, but electromagnetism is one unified thing.
Okay. So, well, what I want to get from this is you don't believe that, you think that the universe has always been here and nothing influenced the creation of the universe.
I'm totally agnostic about the universe's, like, its tense, its temporalness or whatever, but I don't see any logical problem with an eternal.
I don't think anything influenced the universe. What I think there was originally something called quantum foam, because that's kind of what the universe is. It's like, think of it like foam, like a foamy bath. It's kind of like that, not physical. It's weird. It's the universe. It's really weird.
Eternal universe. I'm happy to announce that I can now offer signed copies of both of my books. This is because I've reopened my merch store where you can get your very own Spanky t-shirt, and more. If you don't know, Rational Answers to Stupid Questions is a collection of responses to about 100 of the most common anti-scientific tropes. The book is meticulously detailed, it's been fact-checked by real scientists, and it's written in a clear and easy to understand way. Evolution, the Big Bang, creationism, flat Earth, all of that plus more is in there. Facts That Aren't True is a collection of over 150 commonly held beliefs that are not true. Each claim has a story behind it. You'll learn the history behind the claim, the science that disproves it, or partially supports it in some cases, and lots of side stories and tangents. Categories include the human body, history, religion, animals, nature, language, and a hodgepodge of miscellaneous facts that aren't true. So if you want to be equipped to handle the misinformation that you see me tackling here every day, get a copy of one or both of those books for yourself. Thank you.
Do I think we evolved from monkeys? Not exactly. We evolved from apes. Now, you could argue that an ape is a type of monkey. I mean, cladistically it is. Guffaw.
Alright, number one. I think this is a new person. I have a feeling this is somebody else. Number two. Evolved from a common ancestor. So, kind of like an ape, but different. Like, yeah.
How do you explain the fact that we are more close, like genetically, to pigs? We can share organs. They replace our organs with pig hearts, all kinds of things. We can't do that with monkeys. That makes no sense.
So if you want to know,
Baboons. Gorillas, I think. Baboons, definitely, I think. What did I do? Idiot. What the hell is it? Okay, I'm an idiot. More of an idiot. God damn it. Fuck. Fuck. I just I stupided all over myself. I dropped something. Fuck, like an idiot. Everybody does it, but whatever.
If something is related to something, you look at its genes, you don't look at its organs. And we are more closely related to the chimpanzees and other great apes than pigs. So what you're saying is completely false. Now, this thing about organ transplants.
It's not at all false.
Do you know what a zoonotic disease is?
Sure.
Oh, what is it?
Something that only affects animals.
No. A zoonotic disease is a disease that jumps from some random animal species to humans, right? So H1N1, bird flu,
Oh my God.
etc.
Dude, you believe everything the government says, don't you? Wow.
I don't get this information from the government. But anyways, so you deny
get
that swine
theory.
flu and bird flu exist. You don't think that they
Oh,
exist.
I believe that they've done that on purpose. That wouldn't have happened naturally if they hadn't purposely made that happen.
That's
Things don't just jump
quite
from one to the
interesting.
other.
Oh, she's a conspiracy theorist.
Well, I mean, they do. Have you heard of cowpox?
Again, how do you think that got started? But we didn't have all this
cowpox
stuff
like in the
beginning.
you think in the
Before people
1800
started
you think in the
manipulating
1800s
the natural
the world
order thing?
governments were like creating bioweapons out of cowpox to give it to humans? You think that's been going on for 150 years?
Actually, longer. Yeah, I do.
Okay,
believe
that's
that. I
very
believe that a
interesting.
lot of
And by
things-
interesting, I mean
Sure.
stupid. So anyways, so some
I mean, you
diseases
think
I'm
you
literally
believe that's
still
okay,
talking.
because I think everything you believe is stupid. Evolution isn't true. The Big Bang Theory might be true, but it was caused by God.
Okay. So anyways, do you understand that there are some sicknesses that different animals can get that we cannot get? You have to unmute yourself to answer that question. Nicole, you have to unmute yourself. Nicole, unmute. I can't. If I could unmute you, I would, but it doesn't work that way. God damn it, it left. Well, anyways, Nicole, if you're still there, I'll invite you back up. And I only muted you because you were rambling about shit, and I was trying to ask you a question. But for those of you that are curious, here's why what Nicole was saying is stupid. There are zoonotic diseases that can infect both other animals and humans. And then there are, I don't know what you call the other ones, but other like diseases, sicknesses, whatever, that animals get, we can't get. Like, I don't think you can give your cat chicken pox, right? That's one that we get that they can't get. So when it comes to doing transplants for organs, what's really important is the body like going to recognize the tissue? Is there enough biocompatibility there that the body can recognize the antigens on the tissue and then attack them or hopefully fail to attack them? Well, pigs, we're actually so distantly related to pigs that our bodies just simply don't recognize. Could you bring the laugh track back? That's a good idea. Our bodies simply don't recognize the antigens on the pig tissue. So that is why pig organs transplant more easily. But also, we farm pigs. There are more pigs in the world than there are chimpanzees. And farming chimpanzees for that purpose, people would have a huge ethical problem with that.